Right guys, we are back in Dubai and we're not going anywhere anytime soon. So that means I can crack on and focus on the next split on my app. And this one arguably is one of my favorite ones. It's the push, pull, legs, upper, lower. It is a 5-day split. Now, if you did want to do the 4-day split, you could do that on the app. You could just remove one of the workouts and do a 4-day one. I've started this week, it's the first week. We've done the push. I've done the lower. I did the lower 2 days ago, and I got the worst DOMs I've had in a very long time, so that's a good sign. Now we're gonna do the pull day, right? So let's crack on with this big, mighty pull session. Right, let's pull it up. What an aesthetic cover photo that is for the app, if I do say so myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exercises, mostly 2 working sets for the big compound lifts. So a lot of the session really is spent just warming up until you get to the working weight, and then you will smash that working weight. You will take a significant amount of rest in between the 2 working sets, and then you'll go again. Well, I don't need straps for the warm-up. Let's not be ridiculous. The exercises which I have selected are exercises obviously which I like, which are effective, but also which are different to the split which I've done previously, which was the upper-lower split. So just some very slight changes in terms of the range of motion, the direction of the pushing or the pulling, or even just the order of certain exercises. I did actually like the last split, the upper-lower. It was good, but I must say doing 3 upper body workouts, I don't know, I think doing like a push workout or a pull workout is way more fun than doing just like overall upper body. Because if you're hitting, for example, I don't know, your chest, you're doing 3 exercises for chest or 3 exercises for shoulders, you just get more of a pump. And obviously, the pump is amazing. Not necessary, but it's amazing. So you'll notice I've set myself up in a particular way when doing this. Most people, they'll press their chest on the pad. But when I do that, and when most people do that, you don't really get that full stretch. Like I can hold on to it here, and there's still room for me to stretch the lat a little bit more. So what I do is I put my hand here, so I can support myself. Foot here for support, so I can oppose the force. Sit back into it so I've got maximum stretch, and then pull. And I'm also holding it a little bit lower down. When I hold it higher, there'll be a little bit more bicep engagement. I can already feel it. You can see the angle is a little bit smaller at the bottom. So ending here, elbow 90 degrees, perfect for me. Now, good thing about my app is I can see the previous weight that I did on this exercise on a prior split. So last time we did this, we did quite a lot of weight. So because this is week 1, I'm not really that bothered about like setting any PBs or breaking any records. The goal is just to have the foundation, right? So I'm trying to lift as much as possible, keeping around 1 rep in reserve, like a true 1 rep in reserve. And then the following week, I then have something to go off. And then each week, we're trying to lift heavier. Right. It is getting to that stage where the machine does not allow me to add any more weight to it. This year has for sure been the year of getting strong as fuck. Like, I'm the strongest I've been for a very long time. And I think that's because of the style of training I'm doing. Load up the machine with as much weight as possible. 6 to 8 reps is usually what I've been going for. And that longer rest period does make a difference. Right, let's get the whoop started. %51% recovery, to be honest. The past 2 days of training have been so intense, particularly that leg session. It may have made sense for me to have a day off today, but that would have meant no filming a video, which is absolutely not acceptable, so I will definitely be having a rest day tomorrow. Right, let's do the 8 reps. Straps are obviously being used, so I don't have to worry about grip strength. No. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Steady. Usually I would have gone straight into the other arm, but what I do with these single arm movements or single leg movements, I rest a little bit more in between so that I'm fully fresh. Ideally, I don't want to do the next set or the next arm or leg when my heart rate is still quite elevated, like above 120, because then it means that the intensity of that second arm or leg isn't quite going to be as intense as that previous one. By the way, if you do have a weaker side, start with the weaker side. And if it is really weak, you could argue it would probably make sense to do an extra set on that weaker side, so that added volume can help to balance things out. Lovely. Now we rest. Right then, sufficiently rested. Time for the second set. Fortunately, I was just thinking, how the fuck am I supposed to go heavier next time round? But you would just put 25s on instead of the 20. They have 25s here. So that's okay. I can always get Chris just to stand on it next time. You'll notice the tempo is a little bit more explosive, faster, which is one thing to do. If you've been stuck on a plateau and you can't lift heavier, it's like, okay, well, maybe bring the rep range down a little bit and speed up the tempo, increase the rest period in between, and all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I can lift more. Last set. Nicely done. Nicely done. Lat pull down next. For this split, I've selected the underhand grip just because in the previous few splits I've been doing, it's been predominantly more either wide grip or single arm. So just a little tweak in the grip positioning is just ensuring that we are hitting all of the fibers. So again, I'll probably do like 2 warm-up sets, feel it out. Lovely stuff. Big stretch at the top, arching the back, bringing to the sternum. Just preparing myself for what is to come. Generally speaking, whenever I design a routine which is going to be hitting the back, I want 3 ranges of motion covered. So we'll have like the horizontal, which we've kind of already done. Of course, using the pronated grip, you would hit more of the upper back rear delts. Because we did a neutral grip, a little bit more of the lat. This one, obviously we've got the pull down variation, which again will be hitting the lats, and then we'll be doing another row where we'll be rowing upwards, which is going to be hitting more upper back trap, and then of course rear delts later on as well. So the posterior chain has been nicely covered, and then we'll go on to blasting the biceps. Another warm-up set. By the way, look at this. Whenever you're doing this, you want to be properly wedged into position. Okay, so not on your tiptoes, heels fixed on the ground, and the pad pushing into your thigh. So there's no room for movement. If you're loose on your tiptoes, it will have a massive impact on your ability to execute the exercise properly. So lock in. Don't get too tight to the point where you can't bend your knees. Ideally, you want your knees to be at 90 degrees when doing this. Make sure each hand is the same distance apart from the center, otherwise you'll be putting more tension on one side than the other. It's all these little details that make a difference. Okay, let's go. Ready. That weight was good. This is the thing as well. When you do an underhand row or pull down, you're really giving your forearms a good workout. A lot of people will ask me what I do for my forearms. I literally do nothing. No direct forearm training. It's just curling variations, hanging, gripping, pulling. If you have weak grip strength, you need to work on it. Lovely stuff. That is that done. A lot easier with the stack, not having to load up all the plates. Low row. Right, now how I do this, depending on a few things. If I am short on time, I'm going to do both arms at the same time. If I've got a little bit more time spare, you can do it single arm. You could also argue doing it single arm allows you to focus more on one side and maybe go through a little bit more range of motion. I'm gonna feel it out. It's been a while since I've done this machine. I want to make sure that I do this and it's not going to be like hitting my knee or my leg.
Oh, you know, last week I was jump like crazy.
Just playing with it, just playing with it. I'm going to do both at the same time. So I will be using straps for this one, pretty heavyweight. And just keep in mind, right, if your gym does not have this exact piece of equipment, I have given you two of my top replacements inside the app. So swipe, replace, you'll have my top two options, but realistically you want to be replacing an exercise with a similar exercise where you're going through the same range of motion, okay? As a general rule of thumb. Right. Nice stretch. Three. Lovely. Felt great, good weight. A little bit annoying getting strapped up, but the straps were needed. I think we could do a little bit more weight. By the way, when you're tracking, there's no perfect way to track the weight, just be consistent. For example, if you wanted to, you could track one side, which would be 65, or you could just track both, which realistically, I'm doing the total weight of the machine. So that would be 120, 130 kilograms. Maths has got better, eh? Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Next one, hitting the rear delts. We're gonna do incline bench dumbbell rear delt fly. OG movement. I've not actually done this for a while because I would have been using either the cables or the pec deck machine. Great machines to train the rear delts. And you could argue maybe they have more added benefits over doing dumbbells because there's more resistance applied in the lengthened position. But this whole, oh, you have to train every muscle in the lengthened position, I think is a load of bullshit. I think it's the variety and the combination of training the muscle in different positions which really builds strength and size. So this one, we're gonna be applying a lot more of the resistance in the shortened range, which is good. Now, I have no idea what I can do because it's been so long. We'll try the 10. Again, first set, not a working set, we just feel it out. You're just gonna relax the arms and think about creating an arc. Just like that. We don't wanna go too high because then we start to over-engage our back muscles. We wanna try isolate the rear delts a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. So this one, isolation exercise, it's not really that taxing of a movement, so Rest period's going to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to do an extra set, so 3 working sets. Nice. Nicely done. Rear delts are pumped. It is time to destroy the biceps. First bicep exercise, whilst they're fresh. See how heavy we can lift on these isolation curls. So we can use a preacher bench. If you don't have a preacher bench, literally just do this. You're good to go. You just need something which is gonna keep you fixed in place and allow you to go through this range of motion. So this is 6 reps. So really going for strength. And now we're mixing it up. In the last upper lower split, it was a supinated curl, now we're doing a hammer curl. Again, we're just tweaking things. We're just tweaking things a little bit. Hitting more specific fibers, a little bit more forearm work. Last time I did this movement, 22 kilos. I think 6 reps I can do 24 today. Of course I won't go straight into 24. Warm myself up a little bit. Make sure your arm is completely straight. Nice. What did I say, 24? Kilos, by the way, just so you know. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Perfect. You can tell it's hitting different compared to supinated grip. Feels... I feel it in the feels. You know, once upon a time, earlier this year, last year, the left bicep was always outperforming the right, but now we've evened things out a bit, which is good. Yes. Yes. Nice long rest in between that. It's only 2 sets though. What will be a little bit of a predicament is, well, what do I do next week? Because the next step up is 26. Going up from 24 to 26 is quite steep. Depending upon how I feel on the day, I'd be surprised if I can get 6 clean reps out on 26. So ideally, I would do 25. Hit at least 5 reps on 25. Or we do the 24s again, but we go for 7 reps. And then when we can do a very comfortable 7-8 reps, then we go to 26 and do 5 to 6 reps. But ideally, the next step up would be 25. 1, 2, 3, Oh, I think that was 7. Might have to watch that back, but that was if that was 7, then that's good. Because 6 was the goal. Same thing again. Yes, I am a tank. Thomas the Tank Engine. Right. Next we're gonna do a standing barbell curl. Old school, can't knock it. We have a choice of doing the straight bar or easy bar. My advice would be, if you have any wrist or elbow issues, easy bar's better. You could argue straight bar, you get better contraction. Try it out. I've never really had elbow issues. The only time I've had elbow issues, one time was because I stupidly was arm wrestling someone in an Austrian bar when I was extremely drunk. Anyway, the following month after that, I did win, fortunately, just about. But I couldn't curl any weight for a month after that. So that's why I don't arm wrestle. Apart from that, I've been fine. I think if you are experiencing any tennis elbow, avoid the fixed attachments or straight bars. The majority of your bicep and tricep work should be single arm movements. Doing movements which are in the natural sort of range of motion. So like doing a cable curl. Because naturally, not everybody stood like this with their elbows pointing down. Like your elbows will point out a little bit. So the perfect curl would be like this. Your hand would be far away at the bottom, and then it's coming across your body. Right? If you're doing a straight fixed bar, you're forcing your elbows to be by your side, and you're putting yourself in an unnatural position. I can do it because I have no problems, and it's not like I do this barbell curl every single week. It's been ages since I've done it. And a lot of my bicep work is single arm movements, preacher curls, cables, exercises which are just easy on the elbow joint. Right. I think we're trying to do 8 reps, so 60 kilos, is that gonna be a lot? 60 kilos? Should I do 60 kilos? It is a lot. And I am on video. And I want the form to be clean. Let's do 50. It's cool, eh? That was a good weight. That would have been extremely ambitious doing 60. Whoa, head rush. Oh. Whew. The only thing I don't like about this is it's way easier to cheat. It's so easy to lean back and kind of push the weight up, and then rest a little bit at the top as you got your elbow underneath the barbell. And then also, I think a bad habit which I picked up on when I did these frequently, I would elevate my right shoulder to try and get the weight up. And I noticed when I watched myself back on video, it wasn't a perfectly symmetrical lift. I think it's one of the reasons why my left bicep developed more than the right. Because my right shoulder was taking more of the strain and the left bicep was taking more of the strain. So I stopped doing it for a long time. Nice. Steady. So again, next week I would probably just add a 1.25 on each side, extra 2.5 total, and that'll be enough to see some steady progress. All right, last one now. We're doing a preacher curl with the machine. So this is a little bit different to how I've done the previous splits. This will be the third bicep exercise where I'm doing biceps back to back. So pretty fatigued at the moment. I'm not expecting any miracles in terms of how much weight I'm lifting. So rep range is a little bit higher now. We're doing 10 reps, 2 working sets, and we'll just see what we got left. A little bit of endurance training for the biceps here. You know, usually when I train them, they're getting like a little bit of a break. I would do like biceps and then triceps, and then biceps, triceps. So we're doing bicep, bicep, bicep. So something a little bit different. Massively miscalculated that. So gassed out at 7 reps, target was 10, way too heavy. Although probably, had this been the first exercise, I would have been fine. But there's definitely a drop off, which to be honest, that's why I've never really been a massive fan of doing like bro splits, right? Imagine you do the one whole session, one muscle group. Once you've already done like 3 heavy lifts, intense lifts on a specific muscle groups, everything after that is going to be like pretty mediocre unless you're like seriously conditioned or maybe it's full of gear. But two exercises on a specific muscle group should be enough if you're loading it up sufficiently with load and executing with proper form. I'm going to rest a little bit. That would be wise, Miguel. Last set. Let's try and get 10, Mike. 3, 4. Those last 2 were like 3/4 reps. Whatever. We got it out. We got it out in the end. So we're done. Session is complete. Let's get the whoop. 1 hour, 5 minutes. So realistically, I would say these sessions should be taking an hour. Well, if you're lifting lighter weight, you can probably do it in 50, 55 minutes, but as you're lifting heavier weight, it takes longer to rack things up, longer to warm up. So 1 hour, 5 minutes. I would rate myself, that was a good session, feeling great. Excellent, I am excellent. Awesome. So we've got another leg day to come, which of course I'm going to only do that until my legs have fully recovered. And then we've got the other upper session. So rest day tomorrow. On the rest day, I'll do a little bit of core, I think. It's been a while since I've done some core. Of course, we'll do some low intensity steady state cardio. But I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll see some serious progress over the next couple of weeks. Sleeping good, eating good, calories a little bit higher than usual because I'm not really looking to cut or get leaner at the moment. In fact, after my travels and being in Ibiza, I did lose a little bit of weight, a little bit of size, a little bit of strength. So we're going to pack that back on. 5 days out of 7, I will track throughout the week, and then the weekend I don't really track. But I will be making another video going in depth into what I'm doing with my calories and my food right now. So, thank you all for watching. If you want to get absolutely jacked, absolutely strong beyond belief, then you need to sign up to the app. You can't come to me and complain about not seeing the results you want, complain about plateauing on the same lift you've been doing for the past couple of months. You need to follow a program. You need to track the weights that you're doing every single week. That is the key to success. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.